Good morning. Trash, coffee, then we'll talk. Okay? Okay, had my coffee. Skipping breakfast this morning. Don't really have much of an appetite right now. Well, actually, to be more honest, I didn't have any appetite for the food that I have with me. So, I guess I'll get something by the time I get back down to Ballarat, which is where I'm heading today. Back down south an hour. Really hoping to hear back about one of the two places I've got current applications in for today. I think that's 5 places in total this month. Of course, there was a big gap in the middle because of PAX and all that sort of stuff, but we should be accelerating the number of inspections we do from here on in until I get a place, because I've got nothing else going on. I did spot one property this morning that I didn't see before the weekend. I don't think it's newly listed today because it was still pre 9 a.m, so nobody's working at a real estate agent office just yet. So it must have been listed late Friday, but it's only listed on one of the 2 major property websites that I've been checking. And there are no interior photos at all, not for the current listing. And I did a little Google foo to find previous listings. Nothing. There was one listing with 4 photos, but one was the external photo used in all of the other listings, and the other 3 were aerial photos from Google satellite maps, which is extremely concerning. But it's not like I've got nothing but time. It doesn't cost anything to go look at it, and if it is acceptable, then hooray. But yeah, there are a lot of red flags screaming about this property. So I emailed the agents. They didn't have any automatic booking procedure through the website, and there were no public inspections scheduled yet. So I sent them a message saying, hey, what are the chances I can have a look at that sometime today? So we'll see if we hear back from them by the time I get back down to Ballarat. Outside of that, I don't know what we're going to talk about today. Feeling a little bit better again today. Didn't wake up very rattly this morning, which is an improvement. I'm still coughing up some crud, and it does still have a nasty colour to it. It's not a very worrying colour. It's a light colour, which is, better than the dark colours when you're coughing up crap. But I don't think it's any better than it was yesterday or the day before, really, as far as that indicator is concerned. Still very sniffly. But yeah, I think I'm on the improve. I'm more than halfway through my bottle of expectorant. It should be at maximum efficiency by now, doing its thing. Anyway, on the improve end. Oh, it's starting to rain again. It's been drizzly all morning. So I'm filming with an open car door at the moment, so we're going to stop this, close the door, get on the road, head down to Ballarat, probably get some food when I'm there. Hopefully by that time I'll have an email from the agent saying, yeah, we can take a look at that place, and I'll have something to do today. So yeah, let's get on with the day, shall we? Hopefully it's a good one. In fact, hopefully it's an amazing one. Hopefully I get an email saying, hey, congratulations, your application is successful, come sign some paperwork. We live in hope, or at least today we do. There's bipolar depression on the horizon. It's always ready to steal hope away from me, so it always makes me worry when I'm hopeful. What a way to live. Actually, you know what? Before we hit the road, I want to have a little complaint session about this little bastard right here. As you can see, it's a ghetto taped to the dash kind of arrangement, but it's been working for my little montage interstitial travel clips. It's the GoPro Hero 10 Black, Hero 10 Plus Black Plus. I forget it's the black 10 Black, whatever that one is. And it served me well for many, many, many years as a point of view camera, particularly at conventions. But then, the iPhone itself got a ultra wide angle lens on it, and I didn't really need the GoPro much anymore, so it hasn't been pulled in at duty for a while. So yeah, it's just been really, really temperamental recently. And those of you who've been watching the vlogs, habitually will have noticed sometimes I just there are none of those clips because this thing just refused to record them properly, or I can't pull them off the memory card because they're corrupt or various bastard reasons. But I'm really starting to resent that little bastard. I just wish it was reliable. It's really annoying because I've lost a few really cool looking clips, windy roads and tree lines and sun bursting through the trees and stuff. It always seems to be the days where I get the coolest shots that it decides to play up on me. And I was thinking about that the other day, last time it played up on me. I was thinking, well, I wonder what the cheapest action, because I don't need anything. I don't need the fancy features that it has, because it's got a few really dandy features, but none of them come into play when you've got it strapped to a dash. I wonder what the cheapest action cam possible would be. And is it any, halfway decent to mix into the iPhone footage? And I thought to myself, I know what I would replace it with, one of those 360 cams. Because that way I can have a view of the road. I could, pan the camera in post-production to look out the windows or look at me, and I can record bits to camera as I'm on the road without having to try and fiddle with the iPhone or do vertical video in the mount or, all that sort of stuff. They're going to be kind of fun to do that. You got to have a mix of all the footage of a 360 view from the cockpit, as it were. And I think, once I get settled, and I do get a place, and we start getting locked down into a nice little comfortable routine again, it has crossed my mind to do some road trips. Now that we've got the van here, maybe I'll be in a position with enough budget to deck out the back a little bit more practical, with an actual proper mattress and a bed frame that folds up, or, insulation on the walls, that kind of shit. And I'll do, little mini road trips over a weekend or a week or something, and show bits of Australia, because there are bits of this experience of being homeless in the van that I have enjoyed, little snippets of it. Most of it is stressful and, necessity, but you can romanticize parts of it. And if it was a choice, I'm going on an adventure this weekend, take the van and waft off somewhere. The 360 camera would be part of that setup, I think. But on the dash there, do vlogs as we're driving along. Because I have done mini travel vlog style videos in the past. Back when I was in Brisbane, I think I did a few of them from the scooter. And people really like those, and I occasionally get people, I really miss those scooter travel vlog things you did on the road. They were cool. And I was like, yeah, but I never had a huge drive to do them, because recording from a motorcycle is kind of a pain in the ass. But yeah, a setup here, deck out the van a little more comfortably. When I have resources to do so, 360 camera on the dash. We could do some travel adventures. I think that'd be nice. Anyway, thought that just crossed my mind when I turned on the GoPro, ready to hit the road again, and hoping it works today. Because there's no way to tell whether it worked or didn't work until the end of the day, and I grabbed the memory card out. It's just, spray and pray, I guess, so to speak. Okay, enough talking for a while. Okie dokie, back in Ballarat. And it's a very grey and drippy Ballarat today. As I drove in, I recognised the street I was on, and I went, there's a Hungry Jack's just along here. So that's my brain starting to absorb the layout of this town, or at the very least the location of convenient hot food and coffee. Anyway, I have developed an appetite along that hour-long drive down here, and my tummy is grumbling, so let's get some hot food into it. Well, got caught in the rain a little bit, and left my driving lights on. Like it was only for a few minutes while I had a burger, so it's fine. But it was a remarkably good, spicy chicken burger. But it was really delicious, like fresh and moist and crispy. Like as far as, fast food chain chicken burgers go, that was a damn good one. Feel good. I'm getting rather sniffly and coffee and hacky again, though. So, I have now had an email back from the real estate agent about that place I inquired about inspecting. There are no inspections scheduled. Yeah, I know. That's why I asked you to schedule one. That's what I was asking in the message that I sent you. Could we schedule an inspection? Fucking Jesus. I don't want to be passive aggressive about it, because these are the people I'm going to have to talk to if I get a place, but I really want to reply back to them and say, yeah, I know there's no scheduled inspections. That's why I messaged you to schedule one. I want to say those words. Maybe I'll ask ChatGPT to rephrase it in a friendlier way. And in the meantime, I might do a drive-by, I think. After that, I need to, find a super cheap auto, because although today is dreary and cold and rainy, it is getting hotter and hotter on average as we plunge into the Australian summer. And one thing I've been noticing over the last week or so, when I've been spending a lot of days in the back there trying to recuperate from whatever's infecting me, I need to have something extra on that back window for insulation. The curtains there are fine for blocking out, from people staring in at me when I'm laying back there. That's fine. They do that job. They're shitty, cheapo, nasty things, but they do that job. But they don't reflect any heat. In fact, they probably absorb it because they're black. So I'm going to go find those reflector things like I got for the front windscreen. Just something to pop up there to help bounce out at least some of the thermal radiation pouring through that glass back there during the day. Every little bit probably helps. And also it's a side quest. Something to do today. So, right. Let's go find this apartment on a map and do a little drive-by and see where it's at. Okay, did my drive-by. It's a few streets back that way because I needed to find a place to park safely. The red flags keep growing. So, not only is this place listed without a scheduled inspection, weird. Not only is this place listed with a single external photograph, but here's where it gets really interesting. That single external photograph is at the very least, and I'm talking at least 10 years old. Now, I'm no tree scientist, but what in the photo were small waist-high shrubs are now 14-foot high trees. I don't know the species because, again, not much of an arborist. So even if they're fast-growing trees, that's still many, many years out of date, that photo. But I get why they're using it. It's one they had on file that you can see the place in. Whereas, as it stands now, there are so many trees and bushes in the front yard of this place, you can't actually see it clearly from the street. Which made it a bit of a dick to find, because I was looking for the apartment block in the photos, not a swarm of plants. So yeah, now I'm just really curious about the place. So many mysteries. I'd get out and investigate on foot, except for the fact it's raining and I have no desire to get drenched. Although, it does seem to be slowing down a bit. If the rain eases up, I might indulge my curiosity. I'll sit here for a bit and wait for it. But, yeah, what's up with this place? Hopefully I get an email about a scheduled inspection soon. Because they did say that. They, when an inspection is scheduled, we'll email you and let you know, blah, blah, blah. I didn't wind up sending my passive-aggressive response. Thought better of it. The neighborhood seems fine. It's not in the be careful of this area that I was warned about late last week by a local viewer. Thank you again for that. It's always good to have the inside scoop on that stuff. Not that I can afford to be too picky, but going in knowing is better than being shocked. I think the rain might be easing. I'm going to sit here for a few minutes and see if it stays eased. And if it does, I'll go have a poke. If not, I guess we'll move on to whatever comes next. Alright, so I checked out at Supercheap. They didn't have the kind of thing I was after. They had rear window shades, but the black cloth type ones, which are even more sheer than the curtains I already have. I can't imagine them doing much more to help. So, I don't know, I'll have to look elsewhere to try and find the reflective types, or get one designed for the front windshield and try and cut it down and figure out how to mount it. Frankly, I really can't be bothered with that right now. It's on the back burner. I'll keep an eye open for possibilities, but meh. Checking in. Haven't been up to much in the last couple of hours. Just kind of chilling out. Went back to one of the op shops that I found here like a week or two back. Had another poke around just to keep an eye on, what furniture and stuff exists and what's, the asking price and stuff like that, so I can sort of keep in mind for furnishing the basics if and when I get a place. Still haven't heard about an inspection time for that place that was listed. There is a new place that I've just got an inspection time for on Wednesday. Not sure about this one. It's the location might be a bit of a pain in the ass. We'll see about that though. And I've just pulled over into an Officeworks, basically just to browse and kill time. Because I have run out of get up and go today, I think. I think after this I might try and find somewhere to hunker down. Actually, no, after this, food, and then hunker down. I'll have to remember this one. I've actually been to this specific store before. I think that's where I got the super strong Velcro that I used for the rear curtain between the driver's compartment and the rear. But last time I was here, I was on a mission to get that. Didn't spend a lot of time poking around. Forgot about how this is one of the Officeworks. It's not all of them have this, but only the bigger ones have an actual furniture area. Like the one I used to frequent in Sydney CBD didn't have that. It turns out they still stock the exact same chair and desk that I got when I first moved to Sydney, like 15 years ago now. They're still selling those two things. The chair was kind of rubbish. Fortunately, that got replaced by a review unit of a, was it X-Rocker or Racer X chair. They sent me one of those to review, and I got to replace the dodgy old Officeworks chair within a year or two of moving to Sydney, I think. The desk, though, this was actually surprisingly solid for, many, 15 years, I suppose. And survived 2 moves, almost survived the 3rd move, got a bit rickety, had to do some repair work. And then by the time I had to leave Sydney, it wasn't really worth trying to save or passing on, so it got recycled. But should I want that exact same desk again, they still stock it, which is nice because I did like that desk. It was very solid, didn't rock or move much, and it was just the size I like, so good to know. Oh, my back. So, I don't have to worry too much about the chair. I was just thinking after that clip, because at PAX, I was speaking to someone who represents a brand. I don't think I'll name them just yet, just in case this falls through. I don't want anyone to be weird about it. But one of the brands, they're about to release a new chair, brand new design later this year. And the dude who likes my content very much, I've reviewed their products in the past, and he was really, really excited by the most recent review I did of one of their stuff. He said, when you get a place, you drop us a line, I'll get you hooked up on one of these chairs. So that's pretty sweet. Hopefully that happens, because it was a really good chair too. I sat on it. I had it on the show floor. I sat down on it and went, wow, shockingly comfortable. Like, might be the most comfortable desk chair / computer chair / gamer chair style thing that I've ever sat in, and it had some really clever design stuff, but I'll save that for if and when one turns up on my doorstep to review. But nothing else in Officeworks really sparked excuse me, nothing really in Officeworks sparked my interest. It's funny, for a little bit there I almost forgot how sick I was. But the last hour or so, it's probably about time for another dose of that, come to give it. Guess, I'm starting to get a bit rattly again. Okay, nothing else to report today. I've had some dinner, KFC. It wasn't good. I have regrets. I found a place to camp down for the night. Just park somewhere quiet. Should be unbothered. The place I'm in front of a residential place, but it's got a big wall across, I think it's a block of flats. There's another car park nearby as well, so it should be subtle enough. But I mentioned this in a previous video too, days before. The low-level anxiety and stress that comes with stealth camping like this, I really don't enjoy. I don't want to be an imposition for other people. I'll worry, cause of their stress. What is that van doing parked out in front of my place? That's creepy. That kind of stuff. I don't want to be the cause of anything for anybody else to go through like that. I'm just trying to, get through the night. But needs must. If I'm going to be satelliting Ballarat for a while, looking for places, I'm going to have to do this more often than not. I think perhaps on the weekends, that's when we'll do the caravan park or pop out, a couple hours down to the truck stops that I like to use, things like that. But this is what life is right now. No space of my own, always feeling like I'm imposing myself on other people's spaces, and that makes me feel kind of crappy, to be honest with you. It's a me thing, it's also an autistic thing. We very often do not like taking up space or calling attention to ourselves, stuff like that. So, yeah, this feels, it's not a huge stress, but it's just a low-level throbbing stress. Makes me feel vulnerable as well. I much prefer, campgrounds and caravan parks and truck stops and that sort of stuff. You're still reasonably vulnerable, but not quite so. I don't know. It's psychologically different, and I don't enjoy it, but it is what the option is right now, so The day is drawing to a close. No emails from the 2 places I've currently got applications in. So not expecting those for the rest of the day. I think I mentioned before, I do have an inspection on Wednesday. Today is Monday. And maybe something will turn up tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe that mysterious place will have an inspection or something. Aside from that, throw the video together. Maybe doom scroll TikTok or play some Pokemon or something until I'm tired enough to rest. I'm not expecting to sleep well tonight. I very rarely do when stealth camping because of the aforementioned anxiety about being in someone else's space. But that's a wrap for today. Again, thank you to everyone for the various kinds of support with the PayPal, Super Chats, the Patreon, the likes, and also the comments. Appreciate those. So, until tomorrow's adventure, or non-adventure as it were,